Cool. Yeah, first of all, thank you everyone for joining us. Yeah, even a small group, it's good to have some conversation. And I want to have a very quick chat about the community. So the event which I'm running for, this is the second year. I started last January, and it's a series. I'm targeting to do every month. So I make it called, let's be cube strong. We want to grow stronger. And also I try to find all the supporters or community heroes to donate us the free vouchers or sponsors to provide us some additional support to our friends. So if you haven't followed our community, you pretty much you're not a participate in the lucky draw. Okay. We do need your help to support our community, all of our LinkedIn page, our newsletter, etc. Okay. So to get things moving, yeah, this is kind of like a repeat of the same thing. Yeah, I don't want to repeat this. Yeah, but basically we got. I was always joking. We are running the largest Kubernetes cluster in the world. Okay, we got 180,000 nodes. Yeah, no one can beat us. Even Google, their largest cluster is not as big as us. I remember they say 130,000 nodes,
Yeah.
GKE cluster, the largest one.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So a bit of myself, I used to do a lot of certifications. I used to be part of all the cloud community, but now I did not renew most of these, even the kubestrong. Last December, I did not renew my CKID, so now this year, they will remove me from all the kubestrong, the title, the badge. I'm no longer having that. Yeah, but I'm shifting to be, I shared my post earlier. By not doing the CKID, I'm not spending the whole 445. I'll calculate after 50% of that's 222, dollars. So I can support like about three people to do the AWS or Google, the basic foundational certification. So I'm donating one, for this month to support our friends. I didn't renew Microsoft MVP. I didn't renew Alec Cloud MVP either. So right now I'm still active Google Developer Expert. That's one of my favorite cloud, to be honest. Yeah, their community program is amazing. If you love to collect the freebies, okay, Google definitely have the best swags across all the cloud. Okay, and yeah, CNCF ambassador, I'm no longer either. Yeah. So feel free to follow me if you haven't followed me on LinkedIn. I did a lot of certification earlier, but I'm falling behind. I want to be able to catch up with Rashendra, for example. He keeps doing the new certifications. I never done any new certifications. I pretty much only renew Microsoft. So because it's completely free and the renewal is like just a test, it's open. You can, do the search, find the answer. So that's the point. The point is to refresh the knowledge. Why you ask people to pay the same amount of money to do the renewal? So from that angle, I love Microsoft in terms of the renewal of the certification. You pretty much you don't have to pay anything. It's completely free, and it's so easy. Just do a test. Typically
I
about how much? Yeah, go
yes,
ahead.
I have an experience, Young. I mean, when I have to renew my CKAD last year, I pretty
Mhm.
much did the same exam. When I
Yeah.
was renewing, I just pretty much did the same exam.
Yeah.
Um, look, I just did it because I just want to be active as a cube astronaut.
Yeah.
But I wasn't apart from. I mean, unfortunately, my company will sponsor me for the last time. Um, but if I have to pay out of my pocket, I might think twice. I mean, if there's even with the 50% off, even with
Yeah.
the 50% bundle, I think it's
Mm.
you need to understand uh, your best. I mean, you will be also spending some effort renewing the
Mm.
certificate, and on top of it, there will be a cost to it. Then
Yeah.
is this the best ROI you can have? Is there
Yeah,
something
absolutely. Yeah.
else like Gen AI, for example, machine learning,
Hmm.
that you can invest, whether you could get a better ROI?
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree. Yeah, we should prioritize our time, our money to, prioritize the most critical one. Now, Gen AI is so popular, right? So yeah, we don't want to stuck with all these old certifications. But yeah, to the point, if your company pay for the certification, yeah, you probably, still willing to do it. But if you out of your own pocket money, the renewal, my personal opinion, it's like a wasting money. Yeah, honestly. So you can still, to refresh your knowledge about what's the point to renew the certification, pay the same amount. Doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, yeah, if you guys already joined us earlier, you guys should know our mission is to empower the community. We want to help each other, lift the others up, to learn faster, to certify smart, to grow stronger together. This month, I don't have any Kubernetes certification voucher for free. As I mentioned earlier, I do have one free. I'm actually paying out of my own pocket money for the AWS, Azure, or Google, the foundation or associated certification. It doesn't cost much. Pretty much less than $100, 80 to 75 for different certifications. I do have three Code Cloud subscription. That's 1 year. That's pretty good. And I also have three packed books. The Cracking Kubernetes Interview, also pretty awesome books. Last year, in total, we supported 54, lucky winners. But we do have the challenges. I want to be able to use my own pocket money every month to support our community friends. It's better we find some more sponsors. That's where we need our friends to continue to help us spread the news, to react, repost our social posts. So you probably hold our AWS astronaut or astronaut program. So far, we already have 200 plus people globally, but we only have like about half featured on our global map. Not everyone are brave enough to pass the challenges. It is actually not that hard. Yeah, you you only need to make a pull request to have a squared photo and add your own information, and that's it. So yeah, some of the people wasn't added yet, but we already have like 120 people featured on our astronaut map. And then we rebranded, we added another program called kubestrong. Yeah, to differentiate with kubestrong, we make it even harder. So you need to be a kubestrong plus the AWS astronaut to become a kubestrong. Or if you are golden kubestrong plus two additional cloud certifications. These are the guys, the pioneers. They are among the first to become fully certified on Kubernetes plus AWS. So there are 18 listed here, but now we got to probably 45, I believe. Yeah, you can find it from our webpage. So a little bit more information, mainly from our social platforms, so where I'm sharing all the latest certification learning, and I share all our social platform, our social media from the link tree. If you haven't, you can visit, you can subscribe to it. Also, very importantly, I'd like to highlight Code Cloud supported us for the now more than 2 years, I believe. Every month they support us a few exam modules for every one of our meetup. For this KubeStrong community, we're running every month. Actually, they support us 1 year subscription. That's equivalent to about $450 US dollars. So please help us spread the news to encourage more people to support us. Go via this link. You can find the best discount. Even Code Cloud website, you want to be able to see 37% off for the standard. I normally compare the standard as an economy class when you fly. Okay, economy class, it's the same to get to the destination, same amount of time. You pay premium doesn't mean you can get there fast. That's my suggestion. Go the standard, you can use this code to save extra 20%. For that combined, that's 37%. But one gotcha, I don't know why they removed us to support our Indian friends, okay? Because our Indian friends, they already got the cheaper price. So it doesn't work for our Indian friends. Very importantly, for this one, I just received yesterday. It's for our community only, exclusive discount code. Anything from a code from a Linux Foundation, 50% off, including all the bundles, all the individual exams. Only 2 days. Today actually is the last day. You just apply this code, you can save 50% for any of the bundle loaning, etc. Yeah, make sure you take a screenshot, share with your friends, or you just visit our website, you can find all the details. And also for the individual exams, also supported. But my suggestion is go find the bundle if there is a bundle for you, because you can save even more. If there is no such bundle, you only need to take one exam. For example, you only have one left. You have to take the individual. So that's where you can save. You also save. For example, CKS, CKD, CKS, you only pay 225, $222.50. And for the basic one, 125. Yeah, make sure you take this opportunity. If you missed the last December, if you look at all these, pretty much similar, except that the selected two bundles 60% off. This is one of the best. If you don't want to wait next Cyber Monday, Cyber Week. With that, let me hand it over to Rashendra to take it from here. He will share his exciting journey. He's the fresh, experience. He's almost to get fully certified on AWS, but he is also one of the very first in Australia become a kubestrong. Over to you, Rashendra. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Young. Thanks everyone for joining. I'll be trying to share my experience at my best. What I want to do is that I want to influence you, and I want to advocate to become a cube astronaut. And if you can see, I'm 𝐒𝐓𝐄𝐑. I'm one of the principal engineers at National Australia Bank in the Engineering Foundation, which is a platform engineering team. And we are, as a principal engineer, our team is the one which is actually managing all the containerized platform for the whole bank, the National Australia Bank, which is including around close to 350 Kubernetes clusters, which is including close to more than 300 EKS clusters and around 20 AKS clusters, Microsoft AKS clusters, or Azure AKS clusters, what do you say, and close to 10 GCP clusters. And as you know, I'm the 10th Cube astronaut from Australia. And as mentioned by Young, I'm also planning to be a Cube strong by completing the golden jacket for the AWS. Just completed 11 of the certificates, 2 more left. I'm planning to do it in the next couple of weeks. Then try to be a golden astronaut, golden jacket, get the golden jacket. I can share my insights on that as well, but we'll let's see how much time we have left. Young, if you want to go to the next slide. All right, I think I just pretty much covered this one. So today you're going to hear me from what was my Kubernetes journey, how I became the 10th Cube astronaut from Australia. So let me start my journey here. So for example, I'm just going to start with a very fun fact. 6 years ago, if you just asked me what are the three kind of what just name three kind of deployments you have in Kubernetes. For example, I'm thinking the answer would be like the deployment stateful set and the daemon set, just example. I wouldn't be able to answer that one 6 years ago, because at that point I was heavily involved with ECS. That was our main containerized platform. And I was still at NAB and we were not using Kubernetes. and I didn't had a much understanding or much motivation to learn Kubernetes. Fortunately, our company decided to, our National Australia Bank actually decided to move from ECS and then start using containers platform, Kubernetes as the containers platform. And I believe I was at the right time and the right place. And then I moved to the NAB Engineering Foundation in 2021, early 2021. And that's where we start our strategic migration journey, where all the applications which are sitting in ECS were migrated to the Kubernetes platform. And that's where, even that, I wasn't actually hired as a Kubernetes engineer to that platform, because I wasn't actually a Kubernetes engineer. As I mentioned 6 years ago, I wouldn't even know how to name the three kind of deployments you have in Kubernetes, let alone talking about any manifest items in that one. But what happened is that um, I saw that an opportunity where that this is going to grow. And what I know about is that I did learn Kubernetes some time back in 2018 when I was doing my first GCP exam. That was my first Kubernetes exam, because when you do the GCP associate or the initial certificate, I think they test your Kubernetes in knowledge for a certain degree, but that was in 2018. So with no real life experience in a company with Kubernetes, and where our company wasn't actually using Kubernetes, I actually forgot everything which I learned in 2018. I didn't even actually renew my GCP certificate, because like we were not even using GCP. But when I joined my platform team, we were planning to we were planning to provision close to 300 clusters, including both prod and non-prod. I saw that opportunity here. I saw that, yeah, I knew that Kubernetes wasn't something which is easy to master. So why not take that as an opportunity to master? So that's where I started doing my first 𝐒𝐓𝐄𝐑 exam, and then, and still, even at that point, I wasn't a direct DevOps engineer who was working on Kubernetes. But what I did is that at that point, we did not had 2022. We didn't have the KCNA and KCSA, if I'm not mistaken, even if it wasn't there. But I wasn't aware about that. And those exams I wasn't aware, so I did my 𝐒𝐓𝐄𝐑, which was a practical exam, and I was really happy about it because I managed to pass it from in my first attempt. The good thing about the the CNCF exam vouchers is that even if you fail the first time, you do get another chance to redo the exam, or retest your resit the exam. Fortunately, I did pass, but that was the turning point, which I was able to have a conversation with the head ofs, with the engineering manager, and say, sure, um, I like to be involved with Kubernetes. Why not just get me an opportunity if there is one? And I was in luck because there were a couple of Kubernetes engineers actually, which I happened to learn quite a lot. They left my workplace. That created a void, and I put my hand up and straight away. And the main thing which I want to highlight is that the first certificate which I did actually helped me to put my hand up, and it actually helped me to be recognized, that where I would be an engineer with certain degree of knowledge, because that is a practical exam. You wouldn't be able to pass it just by memorizing something. You need to be really good with your kubectl command. You need to be really fast with running kubectl commands, troubleshooting, writing manifest. So that was like a good testimony. That was one of the that was the in fact that was the first practical exam I ever did. uh in the number of certificates, which is close to, if not mistaken, 25 or 30, maybe a little bit more than that. So that was a good statement. And that helped me to be part of the Kubernetes, and that's where I start mastering my Kubernetes knowledge. And I did 𝐒𝐑 in 2022, but I um, never thought of doing 𝐒𝐑 and 𝐒𝐑. Um, um, Yongkang, you want to go to the next slide? I never wanted to do the other exam, 𝐒𝐑 and 𝐒𝐑, or 𝐒𝐑 and 𝐒𝐑s, or KCNA or KCSA. I'll come to the KCSA and KCNA exams. So what happened is that while I did the 𝐒𝐑 in 2022, somewhere in April, uh, I was an ambassador for Kubernetes, kind of like ambassador means within my company. I was teaching a lot of people Kubernetes. I was advocating for them to get certified, and some people actually got certified. And I was able to share my knowledge, share my resources, and share how you need to prepare. And there were a lot of uh, people who got certified in Kubernetes. And if you just if you just go to Australia and look at the number of cube astronaut, National Australia Bank has more cube astronaut than any other company in Australia. That's one of the main statement I want to highlight. National Australia Bank has more cube astronaut than any other company. And not only that, National Australia Bank has, when I checked last time, National Australia Bank has more cube astronaut that come even some of the countries like Sri Lanka. When I checked that one, Sri Lanka, Serbia, even Hungary at some point, Hungary, and even Luxembourg. So we currently we have more cube astronauts than some countries, even more than New Zealand. So that was one of the things which I want to make sure, because I wasn't me sharing my knowledge actually helped me to keep my knowledge up to date. It actually forced me to make sure that I know end to end rather than bits and pieces, because that's two things. You can learn to a certain degree which is only good enough to pass an exam, and you can simply pass it, whether you pass it. So if the passing score is like 75, whether you get 76 or someone get like 95, it doesn't actually display. It simply says you got the certification. To pass a certificate, you only need a certain amount of knowledge. But when you have to teach someone, when you have to explain something to the others, that's where you revisit the actual what you call the notes or the official documentation, and double check. Because if, when you're trying to explain something or teach something to a reasonable crowd or to a group, you want to make sure that you actually speak the actual facts or the actual um, correct technology. You don't want to be embarrassing yourself trying to say something else. So that's where it puts you to a next level. And that's where I managed to actually polish my Kubernetes knowledge, not only limit myself to just passing 𝐒𝐑. And the fun story happens after that. When I say that I was a massive influence on getting people certified, and there wasn't one person. His name is Senthil. You can find him as Senthil Kumar in LinkedIn, who works with me, who's an app colleague. He was so interested, and he went ahead in 2024. He went ahead and did all of the rest of the 𝐒𝐑, 𝐒𝐑s, and 𝐒𝐑a exams. So that was the point. Okay, I thought, oh, hang on, if he's doing, then why not? So that was the main thing which I really want to highlight here. Sometimes when you advocate someone, or when you are an advocate, the people are so they really get into that subject, they really fall in love with that subject, and they could be doing more than what you have achieved. And that's a really good thing. You shouldn't be offended by that. Because I wouldn't have done CKA and CKS if not for that person, because I thought, yeah, sure, I had CK80, then why would I want to do the rest? I mean, because I'm already an recognized Kubernetes engineer in my platform. But when my friend actually went ahead and did um, the rest of the CK, we call it the Kubernetes trilogy, the CKA and CKS, I thought myself, look, if he can do it, why not? I would want to give a crack as well. And that's why I did it. Like, it took me nearly 2 years to do the CKA and CK80. And I was happy with that because I had all three and I thought that should be it. And that's where I thought I accidentally joined one of these Kubernetes meetup in 2024, where I met Yong Kang, who was a very good influential person in Kubernetes, and he was the first Cube astronaut. And that's where he actually convinced or advocate, if you have the three CKA and CKS and CK80, then you only need two more, the probably the easy two ones, to become a cube astronaut. And that's where I convinced I initially said, so no, I don't think I need to do that, because like, it's not two more exams. But ever since I start going to his to the KSUG.AI, we it used to be K8SUG, and I couldn't get that thought out of my mind. And that's the same thing which you're doing when you're committing to these kind of webinars or to these kind of series. These things would lie in your head. You would be more influenced hearing my stories, hearing the stories of Yong Kang to be a cube astronaut. I can tell you one thing, because I'm working in one of the big four banks, and being recognized as a cube astronaut was a really, really good recognition, which a lot of people talk. And I was able to display my what do you call qualification to a lot of people as well. It was a really good opportunity to showcase your knowledge. And that's what happened. That's how I became the 10th cube astronaut. And actually, I wanted to become the 10th one. So that's why I thought of, let's crack this exam. And I was checking the website how many cube astronauts were there in Australia. So that was 9. I so thought, oh sure, I just finish these two exams and be the 10th. At least I would be able to say that I would be the 10th. So that's my journey of becoming a cube astronaut. I told all of these things to inspire you, because as I said, if you asked me 6 years ago about the different kinds of deployments you can name in Kubernetes, I wouldn't be able to tell that. But when you see the opportunity, take it. Your certification is going to make you highlight among the rest of your crew. And that is like a license for you to be part of a team who is doing Kubernetes. And that's why I just shared my story. And when I started doing my first certificate, CK80, I never thought I would be doing all the five Kubernetes exams and become the 10th Kubernetes cube astronaut. Let alone in 2018, when I was doing Kubernetes for my GCP exam, my thought or my understanding was like, this might be one of the hardest exam, because like it has practicals and it is a time bound, you have to do it in terminal. I thought anyone who's probably having this Kubernetes must be like a superstar. That was my thought in 2018. But here I am, one of the cube astronaut, and I just took step by step, one step at a time. And that actually helped me. And it says like, brave for always for what it favor the fortune always favor the brave. So if you commit for something, then that will definitely help. In the interest of time, I would like to just talk about some of the things what I did for the mastering. So the first thing is that the minikube would be the easiest thing which you can install in any kind of operating systems. You can use the in Mac OS or the Ubuntu or the Windows, and that's one of the tools which you always have when you're learning Kubernetes. You can also try one of the cloud provided or the particular DigitalOcean one. They have Kubernetes clusters, EKS, AKS, GCP. You can try one of these clusters as well, but beware, it's going to cost you quite a lot. Just because you shut down all the nodes, there are no nodes. If you try to use EKS in AWS, that's a end of month cost. I use that one to do some of my practicals because I have my EKS and AKS. So if I want to run some POC, I'd actually do that, but it is actually costing some. There are I have got some bills and from AWS which I have to reach out to them and say, sorry, this was only education purpose, and wave it off. Yes, Rahul Aryan, you have raised a question.
Hey, Rashendra, thanks for the insights. I just wanted to ask, would it be good idea to install the bare metal on a VM or something? Will that give me more insights into, like, I wanted to talk about the hardware, like the exact Kubernetes, if you want to install it on a VM or bare metal. Would that be a good idea to do or start with if we are going for this kind of certifications?
Yeah, 100% Rahul. Look, it is going to help you. If you try to install the bare metal one, Rahul, there's two things about it. If you try to install the bare metal Kubernetes in, let's say, in your computer, you're going to learn quite a lot of things. Number one, it's going to take some time. Number two, and you need to be open for that as well. Because if you are in a time constrained what you call situation where you will have limited amount of time to allocate from your daily diary uh, to get through the exams, that might push what do you call that might push your timelines of getting certified. But saying that, you will learn quite a lot because if you just can actually, it's not that hard because technically, if you're doing the CKA exam, you pretty much have to do it in a killer SH environment. It's not that bad, but you need to understand how much time you have. If you have enough time to do that, definitely it's worth it because then that will be fantastic. But for example, if you're planning to do the CKAD exam, you probably want to focus on that exam and then just try to use Minikube to master those concepts. But if you really want to get to the bottom of Kubernetes, that's one of the best things you can do if you want. All right, and the second thing which I want to mention about my Minikube, it's a very light weight and easy to install. And the one of the main things which I want to mention is that, as I mentioned, I used more than 350 clusters we have in our organization, and there are a couple of tools which would help you to troubleshoot your Kubernetes environments like K9s. But I would never use K9s because in the real exam, you would always get kubectl. If you're going to get kubectl, then if you're only using K9s, which is like pretty much like click, then the problem is that whatever you're doing in your company is not actually going to help you at the exam. I always use the kubectl, and hence it has always keep me polished with my kubectl commands. I would never forget any kubectl commands if I have to run. Just give me a second. Just need to put my AC. It's it's actually the summer in Australia. It's very hot and humid, and so as I mentioned, you can use the Minikube to practice a lot of fundamentals, which is really good. It's a really good platform. um, I would say like there are a lot of courses in Udemy and Code Cloud. Zeal Bora's CKAD exam course was one of the things which I actually followed. uh, that is one of the things which I want to mention. So when you're following a particular course, you have to have a cluster with you. You can try to create the cluster which is suggested by the course, For example, if you're following 𝐒𝐓𝐄𝐑 in Udemy, he uses DigitalOcean as a cloud platform to create the cluster. So in that case, it won't harm if you just try to use that cluster, because then it allows you to follow the course very closely. Because make sure that if you're trying to follow a course, you need to really follow closely. You can't just skip those some of the items and saying, oh, hang on, I'm not going to do the practical, I'm just going to just listen to the all the practicals, and listen to the theory plus practicals. I'm not going to do the practicals. That is not an effective way of following a course. If you want to follow a course, just be hands on. That's the best way, because I've seen firsthand myself that if you just don't do the practicals, then the amount of knowledge you're going to get out of it is very less. That's one of the things which I want to mention. And as highlighted, Core Cloud is one of the best platforms as well. You can use to master um, Kubernetes. It has not only Kubernetes, it get like a lot of other technologies as well, like STO, if you are interested. Yes, sorry for that, Killer Coda. I all get mistaken with Killer SH and killercoda.com. I was under the impression that both platforms are managed by the same entity. Yongkong, it seems like I'm wrong, but both look the same, to be honest. Not much of a difference. It got the same kind of the platform, the UI, but killercoda.com and the Killer SH are some of the platforms which you can use. That's one of the main things which I want to really, really highlight here. When I was doing my CKD exam, when I purchased and voucher, when I register for the exam, you get two practice sessions. You get two practice sessions. Each session would be running for 36 hours. And during that 36 hours, you get a exam set which has like 22 or 23 questions which you can practice, which will be running for um, 2 hours. You would be surprised. I probably would have done that exam, the same exam, using the Killer SH, which is given by the exam registration. As I mentioned, two sessions, each session would run for 36 hours. Each session will be running for 36 hours, and it's the same exam. Pretty much it has like quite a lot of similar nature questions, not like the exact question, don't expect that, which you get for the actual exam. Have a guess how many times I practiced that same exam within that two sessions. I probably would have practiced for like 16 times before I took my CK80 first exam. I practiced for 16 times. I did 8 times within that the first session. I can remember I started on a Saturday morning because so I can get the maximum out of my 36 hours. So Saturday morning to Sunday evening, I did it like 8 times, 4 times Saturday and 4 times on Sunday. So that makes it 8. And I did the same thing the following week as well for my second session. It's the same exam, but you practice it. There's a lot of things which you're going to get out of it. Number one, when I was doing my first CKD exam in 2022, you get a direct terminal, like an Ubuntu terminal, and it was very responsive. Yes, so that was a question. In general, how much you advise to practice by minimum? So, Raj, just to answer that question, number one, let me make it very clear. So once you have, so number one, if you want to do an exam, I'm going to talk you through the how you need to practice it. But first thing is that if you just want to do the exam, the first thing is that you just cover all the fundamentals. Then that might take, based on your experience, would be like I would say 20 hours. It depends on how much time you would spend each hour to cover that 20 hours. Once you have done it, book the exam and do the Killer SH. and then use 2 weekends to practice the exam, because in 2020 you get a direct terminal, but now you get a remote machine. So you need to get used to that remote machine, the controls in that remote machines. It's very critical when you're simulating the KSH. Always select the remote machine or the exam like UI. Remember that. That is really what you call important. So that's what I said. So practice it using the KSH, because you need the speed. You would know all the what you call the knowledge, the fundamentals, but or even the low level specific details. But if you can't get along with that what you call remote machine during the exam, if you are struggling to do copy paste because it's an open book, you can access the official Kubernetes websites. If you can't copy and manifest to the terminal, and if you don't know how to open the terminal, the YAML terminal, and save it, close it, delete a line, you're not going to cover all the questions within that 2 hours. 100% I'm going to tell you. I've seen a lot of good people with huge depth of knowledge in Kubernetes, but they fail the exam because they underestimate the impact the terminal or the remote machine would have on their machine, on the exam. Because they make no mistake, they all have a huge depth of knowledge, but you need to get used to the terminal where you're going to write manifest, you're going to run kubectl commands where you're going to troubleshoot it. Yankan, you want to go to the next slide? Yankan, you want to go to the next slide? Yeah. So if I want to just if you're a beginner, if you're a beginner and if you want to become an cube astronaut, I would start with KCNA, Cloud Native Associate, because you're a beginner, it's a multiple choice, so it allows you to just get along with some of the concepts, and it is really easy and one, and then it would actually build some confidence going into that journey. Then you can start with 𝐒𝐓𝐄𝐑. That's the easiest out of the practical ones, because 𝐒𝐓𝐄𝐑, 𝐒𝐓𝐴, and 𝐒𝐓𝐿 all are practical. So that's where you need to be fluent with the remote terminal, as I mentioned. Then followed by 𝐒𝐓𝐴, as mentioned. If you are doing the 𝐒𝐓𝐴, that's where uh, you know you probably need to have some understanding on, like, maybe that's why you probably want to install a bare metal what do you call cluster in your machine, because 𝐒𝐓 is all about like the low level components, and that would be really important if you want to do it, but it's not must. I never actually I only did twice or few times install a bare metal, and even that I didn't actually use my own machine. I just actually used, I either can't remember, the killer Coda or the killer SH. And then followed by KCSA, that is about more of the security. That is also not an even though it is a multiple choice, do not underestimate that one. And the final one is the CKS. The CKS is the hardest one. That one is a really a tough nut, because it asks about a lot of concepts. I'm not going to go through the exam blueprint. I'm pretty sure I won't be doing justice if I just try to go through that one. I'll leave it to you. Go to the Kubernetes official page to see the exam blueprint. But CKS is an actually and the most hardest one. And don't be disappointed, don't be frustrated if you fail in the first time, because I have had quite a lot of people failing for the first time and the CKA. And don't be disappointed, because that is really hard, and that's probably the hardest exam I ever did. Time management is, as I mentioned, is very critical. As I mentioned, I did it 16 times using this killer shell, which is provided as part of your exam registration. As I mentioned, you get 2 sessions. Each session is around 36 hours, and you get the same exam to practice, and you get to see how much marks you're getting during that exam. Practice it. I would expect you to finish it within 1.5 1.5 hours, all the 23. That's if you can finish it within 1.5 hours, all 22 or 23 questions which you get in that KSUG. That means that's a good statement for your speed. If you're struggling to close that finish that exam less than 1.5 hours, you're going to struggle, because remember, you keep on doing that exam over and over. Let's say you're doing for the fifth time and you still need to 2 hours to finish that 20 questions, and you're taking 2 hours to finish the same exam which you did 4 more times, the same question pretty much, and it takes 2 hours. Just imagine when you get new questions with some exam pressure, you're not going to finish the 20 questions within 2 hours. It's pretty logical. So if you're just going to if you're really going to finish the actual exam within the 2 hours, you should be finishing those practice exams which is given as part of your exam registration less than 1.5 hours. 1.5, I actually finished within 1 hour. When I finished the 16th attempt, I just finished within 1 hour, because I want to make sure the speed is actually at the top range. I wouldn't be actually wasting my time. Right. Young, you can go to the next slide, and make sure that you keep a copy of the actual that practice exam as well, because there are a lot of exam what you call concepts which you can actually learn from that practice exam. I think I covered most of that, but the hands-on labs, you got Udemy, and when I was practicing, you even had a cloud guru, but it's no longer that. It's on the plural site. I never had a chance to log in there anymore. They had some labs as well. Code Cloud is a good one. And community slacks. There are community slacks, especially if you're doing the CKS. Once you have passed the CKAD and CKA, I think you can join a community slack, the Kubernetes community Slack, and in there you have the CKS group, and in there a lot of people share their experience with the CKS, and that really help. Definitely, for the CKS, every bit of help is essential. So go to the community slacks. You probably don't need the community slacks to pass CKS or the rest of the 4 exams, but for the CKS, for me, I can tell you 100% those feedback which I got from the community Slack actually help. Exam simulations, I talk about it. Self practice, use the mini cube, I talk about it. So those are like basic fundamentals which you have to do practicing Kubernetes. Yonkang, if you want to go to the next slide. Yeah. And how to save on exams, to definitely join one of these kind of webinars. I'm pretty sure we have a KSUG.AI. Yonkang, I'm pretty sure we have a KSUG.AI in Singapore, right? The meetup, isn't it, Yonkang? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we do
Yep.
have India,
Yes.
Singapore,
Correct.
quite a
Correct.
few places.
Perfect. So definitely, I would suggest that if you're in Singapore, if you're in India, I know India is a big country, so probably not everybody would be able to come to the meetup. But look, if you're close by, please go for these things, because we do a lot of giveaways. We give away Cloud subscription, at least two, after a quiz. So that is one of the things. We also give vouchers. You can also reach out to Cube Astronauts, because I, as a Cube Astronaut, get 5 vouchers of 50%. But look, Young has already done his work, because he's already got 50% off. So my vouchers are actually wouldn't matter right now, because Young has already given you the code to get 50% off, even on a month of Jan. That's a really good deal. You only get 50% off in end of November, like for the Black Friday. You hardly see the 50% off in the bundle or individual throughout the year, throughout the rest of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't even get 50% off Young anymore. Employee funded is a good one. That if it is definitely ask your employees see if they can get vouchers as well. NAP Vietnam, actually they have employee funded vouchers, and the bundles is also another opportunity to reduce the cost. uh yep, sure. Go to the next slide. I mean, we just yeah, so these are my achievements. As I mentioned, young, we only have 1 hour, right? So I'm just trying to finish off within 1 hour.
Oh,
Young.
it's all right. If the attendees they are willing to spend a few more minutes, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm all
not
right.
a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feel free.
uh,
Yeah.
Correct. As I mentioned, I'm an AWS SME as well. That means I actually review and write question for AWS exams as well. That is a really good way as well. If you are AWS certified, you can apply for that program as well. But don't ask me any questions because I'm not supposed to share any actual exam questions. But I actually get to review and write actual questions, and that is actually have helped me to um, get 11 certificates to be in my AWS. I'll just tell you one more story here. When I was doing my first AWS exam early to 2016, I actually failed my first associate exam by a margin. I was very disappointed. At that point, I never thought in 2016 I would be having 11 AWS certificates and I would be an AWS SME who would be writing questions or reviewing actual exam questions. Never thought. I mean, look, if someone would say, "Oh, hang on, Rush, you're gonna do this," I would be like taking that as one of the best jokes of that day. But look, that's what it is. You keep trying. That's the message I want to tell. You keep trying. I failed my first exam, but I never give up. I did it again, and to date that exam is still now valid. I mean, I have managed to keep that active, what you call active, like it hasn't expired. I have been able to renew it, and that's what it is. And even I failed my first professional exam in 2020, but I still didn't give up. I still went ahead and did it again in another month's time. I passed it, and I did it two more times. Sorry, one more time as well. I mean, I have to renew it in 2023. So, folks, just keep on doing it. Don't give up. You could fail. If you just want to, if you are a person who's going to give up just because you fail, my friend, you're you're losing a lot of opportunities here. Because as I mentioned, I failed my first what do you call uh, associate AWS exam, and I'm planning to become what do you call the AWS golden jacket as well after completing 2 more. Thanks to Young, because he's been wearing his golden jacket for every meetup, which is very eye candy, and then it's one way to influence. That's what it is. That's what we want, folks. To influence people. It takes, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. It goes a long way and changes people's life. That's what we want. We indulge, as I mentioned. I already shared more than one story. When I was influencing others to get certified, they went ahead and did rest of the exam, and then it actually puts me and say, hey, hang on, why not just do it? The others are actually doing it. That's the power of influence. It's more powerful than you think, the power of influence. And it can do a lot of things to you. It can do a lot of miracles, and that's why I'm joining this session 10 o'clock, like 11 o'clock in Australian time,
Oh,
because um, it can change your lives, folks and my friends. It can, and definitely it can help. So if you want to connect, please do connect from my LinkedIn. If you want some KubeSmart 50% off, you can join our webinars. But look, I might not renew my. I only have one to renew my, so might have some spares. But you already have an offer for 50%. If you miss that one in a month's time, if you're planning to do it, feel free to reach out. If I have enough 50% vouchers in with me as a KubeSmart, I would give it. But look, or if you have any things you want to ask about the exam, feel free to ask. That's my QR code. But there's not many Rushendras, to be honest, in LinkedIn, so you're not gonna have any trouble finding me. That's pretty much
oh,
it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, yeah, for such an inspirational, talk, real world experience sharing how to get there. Oh, that's amazing talk, yeah. Well, thank you so much, yeah. Thank you for staying late, 11 p.m. now in your city. Thank you so much. Yeah, we already, hit the hour, but I might continue to run the lucky draw for our friends. So feel free to drop off. Yeah, thank you so much for your help.
Thanks, Song Young. And please feel free to connect with my LinkedIn and look, feel free to ask any questions. But if not, if you would definitely see me in one of the volunteer organizers for the KSUG in Melbourne, which is one of the most active meetup in Melbourne, to be honest. So you can always find me there with a blue jacket if you happen to be in Melbourne. But I know you guys are in Singapore. I love to be one of the meetups in Singapore, Young. Hopefully one day.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, most of our friends are from other place. So yeah, not many from Singapore.
All right.
Anyway,
Then.
thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, we will continue. Yeah, feel free to jump off. I'm gonna skip this one for now.
See you then, guys. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, buddy, for sharing your. Okay, it's gone now. Now let's move to the second part. Yeah, I'm gonna skip some of these. I know most of you guys actually not first time to join us. Yeah, so I trust you guys already follow the instructions, complete the form. Otherwise, you won't be able to participate in the lucky draw. Okay, just again to highlight our sponsors, Code Cloud. Okay. And please take a screenshot to help your friends to save money on their journey. Okay. So we will use wheel of names to draw the names. I will draw the names from the list. And instead of I'm going to draw all the winners, I just draw the top eight list from the winners. And then I will look at each one of the selections of you. We will give away the prize based on the ranking, based on the order from the top to the bottom. Okay. So if we hit, let's say we run out of the code cloud, we want to be able to provision the price for the following winners. Okay. And this is the price we listed here, but we also have some conference tickets if you are in that city. Okay, if you're not in that city, probably it doesn't help you. So with that, let me open up the wheel of names, and I'm going to copy all the names from here. So yeah, we just got to quite a few just joined here. So actually, I always thought about the wheel of names, but that's too slow. Okay. So I'm going to just use ChatGPT to give me randomly the top eight as the potential winners, and then we will see who are the actual winner. Okay. So remove the duplicates from the list. Yeah. Yeah, you feel free to fill multiple times. If you want to choose different price, if the primary one is gone, you might have the chance to choose the second price, but we're not allowed to draw from the multiple entries. Okay, so this is a unique list. Draw eight winners randomly from the list. Did I copy more than? Okay, let's see who are the potential winners. I will run the list offline. I will share in the Discord. Yeah, as part of the requirements, you need to be in our Discord. Okay, you need to follow all of our LinkedIn page. You already reacted, reposted. If you didn't, I might remove you from the winner list. Okay. So to be fair, we need you guys to help me help us, and then we can potentially find more sponsors to support us. Congratulations to some of these potentially they are the winners. I will share the details in the Discord. Okay. I hope the session is helpful to you all. Please stay active to continue to support. So we will support. We're trying to help more community friends. Thank you. Have a good one.
See you. Thank you, John.
Thanks, buddy. There is a question how you can draw ones. Yeah, yeah, it makes me easier. Previously, we draw one by one. It just take too long. It's wasting time. So now with the list, I'm going to capture the list, and then I will look into the price from the spreadsheet you fill out. I will verify the individual LinkedIn to see if you actually reacted, helped us, and then I will finalize the winners. Okay. I hope it's fair to everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to drop off now, and for me, it's 8 p.m. Not too bad. Thank you. Have a good one.